Hey Adora, will you advise me to skip or drop NYSC to focus on tech? Okay, so please, you will not vex for me because I have to charge this microphone. I have to hold this microphone rather this way because I'm charging it. But welcome to, I guess, the first official video of this channel. Hey, we are back. Yeah, let's see how it goes this time, essentially. So the first video, like I said, I tweeted a couple of weeks ago that the first video was going to be a Q&A, and I asked you people to send in a bunch of your questions, and you people really sent questions. So we're going to spend some time today answering some of them. Unfortunately, I couldn't go through everything, and I also don't want this video to be too long. I'm trying this thing where I make shorter videos this time. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first person said, wish we talked more. I don't know you because it's anonymous, but if you want us to talk more, please send me a message and say, hello, I'm the one that said wish we talked more. I mean, like, sure, let's talk more, whatever, but like, I wouldn't know who you are if you don't try to reach out to me for us to talk more. So let's talk more. Let's see. Someone is asking, if you were to begin your stellar career all over again, I don't think my career is stellar. I don't think my career is stellar, but thank you for the compliments, by the way. Is that what steps would you take to get you to the top again? Like I said, I honestly don't think my career is stellar, but one thing I know for sure is that I have a can-do spirit, and I've seen it in everything that I put my hand into, everything that I do. I just always want to keep going, and if I were to begin my career again, that's one trait I will bring with me, this my can-do spirit. I think it has helped me over the years. It still helps me in everything that I do. What steps would I take? Now I'll talk about it in steps. My first step would be to identify what I want to build a career in. Let's take, for example, this time around, I want to try and build a career in being a product manager. I would identify that I want to be a product manager, and I would identify people in this space that are in product management and sort of make them my role models from afar. The ones I can reach out to directly, I would reach out to, but the ones I can't reach out to, I would sort of make my role models from afar. And I will also use my LinkedIn and learn in public. I say this thing a lot where Twitter is great. Twitter is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people have gotten amazing opportunities on Twitter, but I think LinkedIn was made for that. So please make sure that it's LinkedIn that you're using. You can always do LinkedIn and Twitter, but focus on your LinkedIn. And I would also take courses. For someone like me, I have a CS degree, so I went through that. If I were to do it again, I would do a CS degree again. And I would focus on the PM side of things in my computer science degree as opposed to the programming side of things like I focus. But I would get a CS degree all over again. I would find a product associate internship, and I would sort of grow into my product management career from there. I will contribute to all these product management initiatives. I would find mentors, actual mentors, now not role models from afar like I said in the past, a couple of minutes ago, but like mentors. I would find mentors in product management, and I would ask that they sort of guide me in my career. One thing that I know that I had for sure is wise counsel and mentorship around me in my career since I was literally a kid, and that's one thing that I would also bring along with me. And also build networks, because I've said this thing a lot where people move around and people know people. If I get the opportunity to volunteer somewhere or to work somewhere or to build something with someone, I want to leave a good impression of myself on that person and also maintain interactions with that person, because you don't really know where you meet someone and when you need them again. So yeah, some of these things, I know that I just sort of touched on them, but some of these things are things that I would do again if I had to start my career or start trying to build my career over again. Yeah, for sure. The next person is saying, I'm a young graphic designer, but also have an interest in software engineering. I learned a bit of front end, but I seem to be struggling with front end, but I'm a really good designer. Do you advise I stick to the graphic design, and does graphic design still pay well in tech? Honestly, I'm not going to tell you the one that pays or the one that does not pay before you come and say it's Adora that said me. I'll deny you outside. But one thing I want to say for sure is that you should leverage on your strengths, play to your strengths, and take full use your strengths to take you to the ends of the earth and back, right? And if graphic design is where your strengths are, then be a graphic designer. If front end is not for you, don't be a front end engineer. One thing I'll say for sure is that if graphic design is your strength and you want to be a graphic designer, you should now apply yourself in graphic design, learn in public, add value to things around you, add value to yourself, work with a few of your friends that are front-end engineers. You people should build a couple of products, put it on product hunts. Like, whatever happens, sell yourself as a designer. I wouldn't come and tell you, oh, this field pays well, this field doesn't pay well, because the truth is, salaries are relative across the companies, across the kind of industry, not necessarily tech company. For example, whether it's fintech or agrotech or services or big tech or social, whatever it is, right? Across the industry, inside the tech, across the companies, the different kinds of companies, across levels, across locations, there are different things that can cause salaries to be different. So I'm not going to come and tell you, oh, graphic designers earn well, focus on graphic design, or these people are not earning well, don't focus on them. I wouldn't come and tell you that for sure. What I will tell you though is that whatever it is you choose to do, be the best at it and give it time. You would attract high-paying gigs to yourself. But the most important thing is that you are the best at what you do and you are willing to play the long game. If it is clearly graphic design, that's totally fine. But it doesn't look here like you want to give front-end engineering a chance. And to be honest, if you don't want to, then don't do it. Don't succumb to pressure or, the fact that everyone is doing a certain thing or whatever. If it's not for you, it's really not for you. And to be honest, that is okay. Okay? Hi, how are you so consistent with your wins? And please, any advice for someone who is growing in the tech field and willing to make it to inspire me? Thank you so much. How am I consistent with my wins? I have lofty goals. I have plenty of things I want to do in this life. My philosophy is that I don't want to bury any of my talents. I want to give everything to the world and actually legit die empty. So I'm always exploring new ways to create things that help people around me, and I really just want to leave the world better than I met it. So that's why I always constantly get involved in projects, and as a result of getting involved in projects, I am announcing wins. That's typically what it is. And I also am not one of those people that make my job or my career define me. So you'd see me today doing something around non-profits, tomorrow it's around tech, next week it's around music, because I feel like whatever it is I'm passionate about, I will give myself 100% fully into, regardless of whether it is around tech or software engineering or not. What advice for someone who is growing in the tech field and willing to make it? I would say have a can-do spirit, be teachable, network, because you need people in this life. You'll be shocked how much you need people, and learn in public as well. How did you transition from software engineering into cloud engineering? How I transitioned was through infrastructure as code, actually. So software engineer, I was building stuff on the back end, building mixed reality applications, building Android applications. And I also now started doing infrastructure provisioning, and infrastructure automation was the way I got into the cloud, because as I was doing infrastructure provisioning, obviously I'm provisioning cloud resources. I was writing code, regular code, to do my infrastructure provisioning. This was as far back as 2019. I was using a tool called Pulumi. I talk about Pulumi a lot on the timeline, right? I was using Pulumi for infrastructure provisioning as far back as 2019, and I was writing TypeScript because I was already a TypeScript developer, so it was like pretty easy for me to use that as my transition into the cloud. And since then I've now been doing like a bunch of DevOps things, cloud things, SRE things. I still write code as a backend engineer as well. So my career took like a whole different turn when I started doing IEC, and that was my entry into cloud engineering. How does one get started in DevOps? I can make a whole video about this, or you can read my DevOps roadmap, which I'm going to have linked to this video, and you can also check it out. But one thing I will say is that if you're going to do DevOps, you should understand computers and computing first. So, start with the fundamentals of computers, and then, you can now go into taking a networking course. And then from there, you can go into like cloud native things, learn about containerization, learn about Docker, Kubernetes, learn about CI/CD. There are a bunch of things that you can learn. And if I start to talk about these things, obviously it'll make this video very long. You should actually check out my DevOps Roadmap. There I talked about things you can learn and also strategies for getting a job as well. So I believe that will be useful to you in some way. Okay, so the next person is saying, how are you able to master data structures and algorithms? I have a CS degree, so I was taught data structures and algorithms in school. But even beyond that, there's this book, Cracking the Coding Interview book. I know it's going to be very, very useful to you as well. And there's also another data structures and algorithms book. I will leave like a bunch of recommended books in the description as well. Fantastic places to start, definitely. And one thing that I would also say you should do is, things like HackerRank, things like LeetCode, because there's one thing to theoretically understand the data structures, and then there's another thing to sort of like apply them into questions, programming questions, problem solving scenarios, in the context of programming. You can read about data structures through any of these resources that I'm going to share in the link. And even beyond that, you can now try to apply those things that you've read into like programming if you try to solve LeetCode or HackerRank challenges. Hey Adora, will you advise me to skip or drop NYSC to focus on tech? It depends on what you're optimizing for. It depends on what you want to do. It depends on why you want to go on NYSC. And when you say focus on tech, do you mean like, oh, you have a job right now and you're scared that if you go on NYSC you might lose the offer, or you want to learn? If it's learning you are trying to learn, there's no reason why you can't do both of them at the same time. Go for NYSC camp, it's like 3 weeks, and then you come back, and then once you come back you have a full year serving to also learn, right? But that's if you mean focusing on tech as in learning. If you mean focusing on tech as in like a job, maybe you could ask the company to be your PPA, if that makes sense. I'm not a fan of NYSC, but the fact that the program isn't scrapped yet, I don't know what your future plans are. Before tomorrow now, you want to lead something somewhere and they're asking for NYSC certificate and you can't provide it. So I wouldn't just tell you drop it or don't drop it, because that will be me projecting my own goals and my own life on you. But you need to sit down and think about why you want to stop it, and if you can actually combine both together. And if you can, go ahead and do it. And if you can't, then prioritize based on your own reality. This isn't something that I can advise you with. Will your organization, NexaScale, be introducing the data engineering bootcamp soon? So NexaScale has a data science track and you can join it. We have plans for 2024, so stick out for that. That's all I'm going to say for now. So there's like a data science, track as well in NexaScale, and you can definitely join right now. Hi Nene, this person definitely knows me. Hi Nene, I'm delving into the data engineering space. Do your communities that cater for this I think they're asking me for communities that cater for this and people they should follow. Communities, I don't know of a community, but I know Data Fest, the event. I don't know if Data Fest also has a community. You can check them out on Twitter, Data Fest Africa. And I know that there's someone called Gifts. I might butcher Gifts' name right now, but I'll put all the links basically. So there's Gifts, there's David, there's Jessica. These three people come to mind in the data community. They're really vocal about things. So you can follow them and reach out to them with anything that you need. Someone is saying they've been in software development for 6 years and it doesn't feel like they're moving forward. They have imposter syndrome and it hinders them from networking, especially with the gatekeeper mentality of some developers. How do you help yourself? Everybody has imposter syndrome. I'm going to tell you the truth, to be honest. And I understand that point of actually feeling like you are stuck. I sort of felt that way at some point last year, and I made some very, very, very drastic decisions about that. You might also want to make that kind of decision based on your current reality, but I think that you should network. If you are shy, and I'm trying to read some of the things that the person is saying, so I'm answering the question properly. I think that you should network. If you are shy and you are not able and open to network physically, you can try networking virtually. Reach out to people on LinkedIn, interact with their posts, write things, reach out to someone, try and add value to them, build relationships with people that you connect with online, and sort of like go from there. But you need to network, right? And you also need to try and pull yourself out of the situation you clearly don't like yourself in. You've been in software development for 6 years now, 3 years actively. So I'm guessing you've had a job for 3 years. If you feel stuck, maybe try seeing if you can get a promotion or move to a different team in your company or move to a different company. You might just be bored of where you currently are, and try experimenting with something new. Try doing something challenging, and that could really help a lot. I know that you have a couple wins like you wrote here, and I'm honestly proud of you. I'm proud of those wins, but the truth is everyone has imposter syndrome. I think the most important thing is how you handle it. You shouldn't let it overwhelm you and make you look down on yourself, because the truth is you said you've had some wins already. It means that you're doing well for yourself. You are a better version of yourself than you were last year, which at the end of the day is the most important thing. So I get what you're saying with the gatekeeper mentality in some developers, but it's not every developer that has gatekeeper mentality. So you find the ones that have the same energy that you have, and work with them, reach out to them, connect with them, and things like that. Someone is asking, do you code with AI? Should software engineers in any level of experience code with AI such as ChatGPT? Do you think it would affect their proficiency or make them better engineers in the long run? I code with AI. I have debugged with ChatGPT in the past, and I like Copilot. It's my AI peer programming friend. So yes, I code with AI. I don't think it would affect anybody's proficiency or make them better or worse engineers. I think it makes me a more productive engineer. Better is relative, and the metric for measuring better might be different when you talk to different people. But one thing I would say for sure is that it makes me a more productive engineer. I'm able to do more in less time, and I would totally recommend that, to be honest. What tech skills can someone transition into from accounting? If you want to be technical, like you want to write code, then consider that, and the fact that you're coming from accounting wouldn't matter. All that is important is that you learn how to code and you start coding and building projects. But if you want to leverage your accounting degree, maybe you want to look into fintech and see where you can actually apply yourself in that industry, since you already have an accounting degree. And I want to believe that some skills there and some things might be transferable. Hi Adora, I'm a front-end developer. I've also built a lot of personal projects. The problem is once it is time to take a project that actually pays, I get so scared. Deep down, I know I'm good. My personal projects have gotten a lot of praises from my peers. How can I overcome this? I think that you are in your head, though. And maybe hunger has not really dealt with you so much that you need money, because I don't know why you are scared when it's time to take on a project that pays. What's the worst thing that would happen? They will criticize your projects. When they criticize your project, you will learn. They will not ask you for the money back, except you do a sham job. And like you've said, your friends tell you that you are good, and you are good as well. So there's no reason to be scared. I don't know exactly what you're scared of, but I'm trying to sit down and think here of the worst possible scenario that can happen if you take a project. Go ahead and take a project. Make some money while at it. Contribute to a live project so that when it's even time, because I'm guessing you're a freelancer right now, when it's even time to do full-time job interviews, you have live projects in your portfolio that you've done that have actual users that you could tell your interviewers about. Just come out and get it. The next time there's a paying project or something, apply for it and get it. You have nothing to lose and many things to gain, from doing that. So I would definitely advise you to do that. Coming out of your shell might not be an easy thing. Like you said, it's not easy for you and everything. You get scared. But the point is, if you stay inside, you will always remain inside. You have to come out basically, and people need to see you. You need to do your work. I wish you all of the best in your journey, and I hope that you get a project that is paying soon, that doesn't scare you, so that you can take it on. I think at this point, I'm going to stop answering questions because it's already getting to 20 something minutes for this. I'll try and see if I can cut it down in editing though. But thank you for watching this video till the end. If you liked it, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to me, please make sure that you subscribe. Going to be giving you videos consistently back to back to back. I am back. If there's any kind of content that you'd like me to touch on, anything bothering you that you want my perspective on, leave a comment or reach out to me on Twitter. I will make a video about it for sure. But yes, like I said, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in my next video again. Bye.